Hey guys, what is up? This is Kazi. I want to start a new thing called Puzzle Thursday. So every Thursday I want to post a new puzzle for you guys. If it goes well, based on your guys' feedback, well then we'll continue it. Otherwise we won't. So without any further ado, let's jump straight into it. So this is a pretty crazy puzzle. It's kind of a messy situation going on over here. I mean, white is on the 7th rank and he has all these pawns over here. They moved from the 2nd rank all the way up, and then black has this pawn here, and I mean it kind of looks like a crazy position and it's hard to make something of it. First of all, I want to clarify something about pawn promotion. When the pawns are really close to the 8th rank, so basically when they're about to get a touchdown, they can turn into any piece they want besides pawn and a king. A lot of beginners think that they can only get back a piece that was already taken. That's not true. Basically, if you have 8 pawns, you can have 8 queens. So it's a pretty crazy position over here. And why don't you try to pause the video, see if you can find the move here. It's white to move, and see if you can solve the entire puzzle. I shared this puzzle with my good friend, International Master Eric Rosen, and it took him about 10 minutes to solve it. So I would highly recommend, if you want to work on it seriously, it's probably going to take you around 10 minutes or maybe more. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little bit of time to pause the video. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's continue. So let's say, so this is a pretty tough puzzle. If you haven't paused it, don't worry about it. Just enjoy it. Okay, so first, let's assess what's going on here. If it were black's turn in this position, what is black's threat? Can you find it? Black's threat is bishop takes b7, so this knight over here, checking the king, and the king has no legal moves, and this cannot be blocked. This is a checkmate, so game would be over. So let's put this back here. So black is threatening checkmate in 1, so white has to tread very carefully. Let's say that in this turn, white were to play something like pushing his pawn and promoting it to a queen. Let's go here, promoting it to a queen. Well, the rook will take the queen. Okay, now once again, black is threatening to take here and checkmate the white king. So let's say white takes back and makes a queen. And the idea behind making the queen here is that when bishop takes the knight, the queen can take back. However, it's black's turn and black can simply take the queen again. And no matter what move white plays here, black is going to take here next. And that is going to be the end of the world for white. Okay, so let's say that white tries something else, like taking the rook and making a new queen, like so. Well, black will take back. And now it's the same problem. Black is threatening to take this knight over here and deliver checkmate. And there's just no good move here for white. The only try he can do to protect his knight over here is to push this pawn and make it a queen or make it a bishop and protect his knight, but then the rook will just take the pawn. Another thing this pawn can do is take this knight, but then the rook will take this pawn over here anyways. And then this threat over here is unstoppable. So let's go back. So taking the rook also doesn't work. So what can white try here? Well, white can try something pretty cool here. White can play pawn to d8. What? Pawn to d8? Isn't that a crazy move? I mean, I bet you're just sitting there on the screen probably laughing, but pawn to d8, we don't make it a queen. We make it a, and I think you probably guessed it at this point, we make it a knight. And this knight is protecting this knight. So if the bishop takes here, it's not checkmate because our knight will take back, and then white will probably win the game because he can make so many new queens. Okay, so black tries a logical move here. He wants this knight not to be defended by anything, so he chops this knight off over here on d8. Well, white's like, okay, that's cool. So white takes back the rook on d8. And can you guess what white promotes this pawn to? That's right. White promotes it to a knight. And black looks at this knight, and black's like, oh man, another knight protecting this knight? I gotta chop him off too. So what's black's next move? Rook takes d8. Okay, so far we've had 2 pawn promotions. So we have 2 under promotions, promotion to a knight. So this is gonna be the third one. White takes the rook back, and you can probably guess it. He promotes to a knight. And so this knight is now protecting this knight over here. So everything is fine and nice. And now it's black's turn again, and black plays the tricky move, knight to c6. Now the reason why this is such a tricky move is it's attacking this knight, the only defender of the knight on b7, and checkmate. And well, the knight is not protected, right? So if white tries to take it, black will take the knight on b7. And now this knight is pinned to the king, meaning this knight can't move anywhere. And once white moves one of his pawns, black will just take this knight and it will be a checkmate. So that's a little trick that white is trying to do. So let's not let black get the satisfaction there of making that trick work. So knight c6 is a trick that black can try. So black tries knight c6, but white should not take here. That would be very bad. So white goes ahead and plays the move e7. It's a tricky move, right? Now black is like, I'm going to take that defender. So black takes back. And can you guess what white plays? White plays e takes d8 equals a knight. That's right. And now this knight is protecting this knight. So now we already had 4 under promotions. Okay, so the next move is pretty tricky. If you were trying to solve the puzzle, this is probably the move that you might have gotten stuck at if you got to this point. So black actually plays here the move king to g3. So even right now, it looked like white was completely safe and winning, but black just tried the move king g3. So let's see what happens here. Now white plays the move e6. Notice how white still cannot move any of these knights. This knight, it's illegal to move because it's pinned to the king. And if this knight were to move anywhere, black will take here, and that will lead to a checkmate. So white just played e6, black takes a pawn on b6. And what is he threatening, you ask? He's threatening the only protector of the knight once again. So he's threatening the knight on d8. So white plays the move e7. And the reason behind the e7 move, dun 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 dun, bishop takes d8. E takes d8. Can you guess what white turns that pawn into? A knight. That's right. So now this knight is protecting the knight on b7. So it looks like white is probably winning at this point. But black tries some other tricky moves. Okay, so black should not take here. That would be a bad idea because then white would just take here and then push this pawn, make a queen, and win the game. So black tries to move king h3. Because if he goes king anywhere else, he loses the pawn on h2. So he goes king h3. White can't play any moves with his king. White is not allowed to move his knight on b7. And the knight on d8 should not be moved also because then black will just take on b7. So the only try that white can try is d7. Now black plays the move king to g3 because black has nothing else to do. and white is out of moves. This is sometimes called a zugzwang. The only move you can make actually worsens your position. So if white moves his knight to f7, well, bishop takes b7 is checkmate. If white moves his knight to e6, well, bishop takes b7 is checkmate. So what is the move here for white? Well, the only try is to actually play knight to c6 to stop checkmate after bishop takes b7. And black plays the only logical move here. Bishop takes b7. And now this knight is pinned. The king has no moves. The knight has no moves. I mean, the only move here is to push this pawn. And can you guess what d8, what you promote to after d8? Yes, we promote to a queen. All right, just checking if you were paying attention. We promote to a knight, that's right. And the reason for that is so we can protect our knight on c6 this time. And if black takes, and okay, we take back, and we'll probably draw the game, sacrifice our knight for that pawn. But black tries a tricky move. He plays bishop a8, and can you find the final move for white? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so white cannot move this knight. White cannot move the king on h1. If he plays any other move with this knight, is going to be a checkmate in one move. So the only logical move here is knight to b7. And it looks like black just won the game. So black plays bishop takes b7. And now it's white's turn. But too bad, white is out of turns. This is called a stalemate, my friends. And this is a pretty cool stalemate. Well, that is it for today. Thank you for watching this video. Please comment, rate, subscribe, and share this video with everybody that you know. All right, so that is it. That concludes our episode of Puzzle Thursday. So please comment, rate, subscribe, and share this video with whoever you know, whoever likes chess. Or maybe don't share this video and you can use these secrets to improve your chess game. Well, thank you for watching, guys. Have a good day.